Guess we have to make shit up again. All right. Hey there, beer tuber. Welcome back to Beer Analysis 101 with your
Hi,
host,
Nick.
Maxwell.
I'm going to interrupt you again like I did
Here-
before that nobody saw. Hi,
Hey,
Nick.
Greg. We'll dispense with the pleasantries and we'll check and see how people are doing tonight. We are actually going to do a beer that we've looked at previously on BA 101. We're going to do a reanalysis, imagine that, of everybody's favorite corn soda from Ontario, Carling Black Label. All right. Not going to be biased at all. So let's take a look at who we have with us, starting with Mr. Greg, who is now opening and pouring his beer. How you doing tonight, Greg?
Cracking this open for the very first time that I can recall because I don't remember drinking this before. So I don't know. Depending how this beer tastes, I might be doing really well or really not so well. But
one way to find out, and that's put it down the hatch. Lee is in the comments saying, "About time you got this working, unprofessional." Yeah, shut up, Lee.
You're unprofessional.
I mean, this definitely has Citra in it.
All right, Redbeard, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Better now that this thing actually works.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm doing not so. I'm a little jealous of Greg's big giant can. All I've got is this little baby can. So
you know what? Fuck you.
If I like the can,
if it makes you feel better, Greg's probably overcompensating for something.
I'm always
again. If it's garbage, then that'll work out well. But yeah, so
it's cheaper to buy the beer. Cheaper to buy the beer than it is to put gas in his Camaro.
The beer of my father.
Exactly. All right.
Yeah. Weird.
All right. So let's go over to Lady Lee. Hi, Lee.
Hello.
How are you doing tonight?
I am doing very well. I should give a shout out to Cody because he's the one who found us this beer.
Hey, Cody.
Well, try the beer first because you might curse him in a moment.
Well, I would have well, both Carrie and I wouldn't have been a part of the show had we not found the beer. So
then it would just be a me and Nick show. That'd be exciting.
At the same time, didn't somebody else find it at a beer store or something when it wasn't listed on the beer store thing or some shit?
I thought I found it, but I did not. It was a different one.
Weird.
Alrighty, so let's move it on back over to me. Thank you, Lee. And we'll talk about the beer that we have tonight. We originally did this on episode way back in 2018, September 5th, 2018, shortly after this show celebrated its first anniversary. The story of Carling Black Label, we're not going to go into the history, especially considering I found my text file from back then. It's like 3 miles long. But Carling
reread it real slow.
Originated from a British immigrant from the UK. Well, the British immigrant from the UK moved to Canada, started a brewery in the 18th century. Yada yada yada. And the last time that we did this, the thoughts were, I had this all planned out. Not very well, mind you. So the last time we did this, we had 5 people on the panel. There was Lee, there was Craig, there was Greg, there was Ashley, and me. Greg and me are the only ones that were here from the last time. And, well, Greg doesn't remember a thing about the beer, so that's telling you something. Originally, we overall, it was just a bear squeaking through pass, although Greg seemed to like it, even though he doesn't really have much of a...
I was going to say, it was the high... Well, I guess Ashley... thought it was a better style than me, but I was the overall high scorer.
That you were. Alrighty.
I'm wearing the same shirt you were wearing in that video. I think so. The same color anyway.
You guys like to match.
No, really?
We do.
No, I'm not wearing the same shirt. I got this shirt like a year ago, but still.
No, he's wearing the same shirt you wore. Like the same color you wore.
Oh.
Greg is wearing
No wonder my wife thinks you and I are
Well, you want to be totally honest. Greg's probably wearing the same shirt he did wear in that episode because that's
probably. Well, I have about 10 different albino rhino beer fest shirts that I just rotate through.
Just rotate. You even wear them to work under your suit. You just open your suit and it's just.
I don't wear.
You're probably wearing shorts and sandals to the office too.
Nick,
just wear a suit for the Zoom calls.
Alrighty. Yeah, the only time I wear a suit really is for the Zoom calls. I had no occasion to wear a suit anytime recently. Well, other than my dad's funeral, which sorry to bring the room down, but
that went dark.
Yeah. Well, it is a black label. So.
It is a black label. All right, Greg, since you were here before, but you don't remember a thing about this beer, so I'm going to ask you anyway. What's your history?
Well, I didn't bother to look it up, but I'm pretty sure my history with this beer was drinking it the first time with you because This is also not that easy of a beer to get. Like you have to go to a beer store, which I don't usually do voluntarily unless it's to return stuff. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is like my second occasion drinking it.
Yeah. The main thing is that since the last time you've had it, it's not like you sought it out to.
No, I haven't. I mean,
to drink again.
This is one of those things. I actually thought I may have been confusing with some other product, but like black ice or something like that. But I thought I had a glass of this or like something black. Maybe it was black ice. Now that I think of it, I can't find it right now. There's too much junk in this basement. But this would totally be a beer that probably my dad, but when he was drinking, as like I may have like had a sip of as a kid or something like that, because it just seems like something that he may have had around the house. But I've got no real recollection of ever drinking this, really ever, including the show that I'm recorded drinking it. So, no, I've never seeked it out in between, Nick.
Nice. Well, I mean, yeah. All right. Thank you, Greg. Let's move over to Redbeard. And Redbeard, I know you actually do have a little bit of a personal history, similar to what Greg was just saying, actually.
But my dad, growing up, that's what I recall him drinking. Super, super good times in the room again. 2005, May 24th. Lung cancer came in and said hi there. I want to say while he was alive, this is the only beer I really recall him ever having in the house. Like he had no problem drinking other stuff, but this was his beer of choice. And when I was a little kid, as I'm sure most of us had happened, when an uncle or your dad or something like that give you a little sip of beer, let you try it kind of thing. And I had one young cousin who he liked it so much that like from that point on, if you were having a beer and this child was anywhere in the room, you had to guard your beer because the second it was gone, he would be just guzzling this beer. But me, when I was young, I hated. It wasn't until I was like 17, 18, I think, and I want to say might have even been Budweiser. And suddenly I was like, hey, this is actually not that bad. But as far as this goes, I'm pretty sure this is the first actual, like, mildly developed palate going on, having this beer in my life. And yeah.
I just wonder how your life would have changed if your dad was drinking like a milkshake IPA.
They weren't a thing back then. I feel like if my dad was still alive now, and I don't know if him still being alive would have made me not go on this craft beer adventure, but if he was, and I was doing this, I would totally be getting him to try all this shit. And who knows, maybe my dad would like it. Hey, who knows? Yeah.
Who knows? You might be in the craft beer or something. If you was...
My dad did not drink for a long period of time before he died, over 25 years. He did, out of curiosity, once have the most minute. I've never seen somebody take such a small sip. He took literally a couple drops of Double Tempest just because he was curious to try it. And he's like, nope, don't like this. No, too bitter.
That's funny.
I was like, that wasn't a proper taste. I know you don't drink, but that wasn't a proper taste.
All right. Thank you, Redbeard. And that's kind of funny, Greg. I almost wonder, like, what did he have? If it was 25 years ago, did he have a problem with alcoholism or something?
He did.
Stayed away from that.
He did. He had a problem with alcoholism, so he quit alcohol and never had a drink for 25-ish years. And he was also big into various programs. Like he was doing AA, like he was leading AA. He volunteered at a rehab program to help people dry out. So he was doing a lot of stuff. In hindsight, I'm not sure if drinking is necessarily the best memory way to honor him, but
I'm drinking your honor, Dad.
Yeah.
Thank you for being it out. No,
anyways, I think it's Lady Lee's turn to talk.
It's Lady Lee's turn to let the lady talk.
She's Price is writing it pretty good right now.
I like how the can says entire satisfaction guaranteed.
Oh, good.
Oh no, total satisfaction guaranteed.
Total satisfaction.
Saxophone.
Guarantee. And total satisfaction guaranteed.
Okay, well.
What? Anyways, so my history, my dad drank Guinness. So no, I did not have this one. This is not something that I was given as a child. I was given Guinness as a child. That's it. That's all. That's all the dad talk I can do. Sorry,
Alright.
guys. Mine's not as good.
Yeah, Lady Lee's
So what
dad's
about
still
your history
alive
with
and
the
still
beer? That's the
badass and
whole-
stuff. Think you're so cool. Sorry.
Fuck off. My
Yeah.
dad's been fighting a lot of
Well,
shit.
Way to show off that your dad's still alive, Lady Lee. Way to be insensitive.
My dad who
Anyway,
currently has cancer.
Let's get off. Yeah. Well, let's get off the dead dad talk. So or the dying dad talk. Anyway,
Jesus,
please.
It's funny because my dad would watch this and he would just laugh.
This is the best episode we've ever done.
Yeah.
Best.
Really.
all we need is a
Really,
few dead
we're
dads
really
and we're all
killing it
good.
here. All right, Lee.
Killing it. I
For
didn't
the
get
beer
it.
itself, did you have a history with this thing? I mean, you did go to. Where'd you get? Where did Cody get these?
I think he went to a convenience store in Koskrut. Is it Koskrut?
A what?
No, what is it? Corner store in
Oh,
French. I think it's Koskrut.
Couche-tard? You go to Couche-tard?
No,
Depanneur?
not Couche-tard. There's like another
Couche-tard? Depanneur of some sort?
Dépanneur. That's it. Koskrut
Okay.
is something else. Dépanneur.
A depanneur.
Yeah. So my dad went to wow, Cody went
Wow.
to a corner store in Quebec. And it was the first one he went to, and I had it there. So it's actively, readily available in Quebec, but Ontario it seems harder to find. At least for us here. I don't know how it was elsewhere.
Yeah, like
North Bay's
I'm not
weird for
It's
beers.
weird.
I think like Greg was able to get it, so I know, but I'm pretty sure it's at the beer store and not the LCBO.
Yep.
We didn't have it at the beer store. We didn't have it at the LCBO.
weird.
We didn't have it at the grocery store. There was like nothing.
Did you go to all three beer stores?
I googled it.
Yeah, see that again. Like I want to go to all three and randomly see if it is actually a thing. Through curiosity.
Sounds like a waste of gas. I mean, at the end of the day, it's only Carling Black Label.
This is my first
You
time
could do a different beer.
drinking this, having this.
You know what? Spoiler alert. Kind of liking it.
Okay, then.
Okay.
All right.
Let's move
Oh.
on.
Thank you, Lee. All right, so let's go back over to me and I'll give my history with this beer. But first, I'm going to say one thing when it comes to the dad talk. I'm quite thankful my dad is still alive and not dying of something. And also, when it comes to the alcohol thing, he's not a drinker. Like my dad's, I've seen him drink before, and I remember when he used to play baseball as a kid, he'd have a beer or something with the rest of the team, just one, and be like a Moosehead Pale Ale, and that's the first beer I remember taking a sip of. But he didn't drink much, and it's all because my grandfather, his dad, who I never met, he died early of cirrhosis of the liver because he was an alcoholic, so it's kind of left a mark on him. But hey, I'm sitting here drinking in his basement. So speaking of drinking in his basement, this beer, I've only ever seen this in Quebec. And to give some history on it, the first time I ever had this, I picked it up. I was on a camping trip, my camera club back in 2018, and on that trip, anytime we stopped for gas and supplies at a convenience store, it was kind of weird to me at the time. They had like beer and stuff in the store, and you get to see the dingiest of Quebec gas station kind of beers. You get these sometimes you get like little like random craft beers for something like I think Archibald Brewing or something was one of them, and it's the Pit Caribou. You'd find them in a random gas station. Then you get like massive cans of like Molson Dry or big bottles of Labatt Blue or something like that, and 8 packs of these Carling Black Label for like super cheap. I can't remember exactly the price was. Anyway, so that was when we did it the first time for a reanalysis for the original BA 101. The second time, the reason we were doing it now is because last summer I went up to northern New Brunswick with my buddy Scott, the Fuzz, who's been on BA 101 before, and we went over to his. By the way, his dad is also dead. We went over to the border to
Why is he on the show?
To Quebec. Yeah, I know, because I only had one can.
Oh,
I did give him some of this, but that was a while ago when we drank them in Quebec, because we actually went to the reserve on the other side of the river or the bay from northern New Brunswick into Quebec, and that was like I think $10 for 8 or something like that. It was just something ridiculously cheap. And because of prior experience with it, I was like, hey, I want to try that again because it's like dirt freaking cheap. And we were getting drunk at that cabin. Anyway, this is my last can of it. And, well, I'm not going to spoil what I think of it, but we'll just go from there. So, now, after that long-winded intro, we can finally read some comments, and we got a ton of them. Anybody want to volunteer to read them? Nope.
I would
It's up to
volunteer,
you,
but I'm
Nick.
never allowed.
Alrighty, I'll read them. And everybody's going to be in pain. So, yeah, we already read that one from Dan is in the chat saying Greg and his 2 big cans.
Oh, yeah.
Dan the man with a big can. Lee Russell says, you knew that and never complained before, Lee. I forget what that
I call
was
him
about.
unprofessional.
Oh, called him unprofessional.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, this beer is shit. Lee says, oh, yay. Fucking Ashley, man. Glad he's not here to help skewer the score. I did have something planned. Considering
I like
Ashley's not here, I'm going to drink this later in his honor, which is a blueberry IPA. So,
Oh, there you go. He'll love
yeah,
that.
anyway. Yeah. Lee Russell says we can disregard Greg's score this time. No, we won't. Lee Russell says, what's with all the dead dad talk? Jesus, you morbid creeps. Brighten up. We're going to hear about your dead nephews who love this beer next. I don't have any dead nephews.
I don't have any nephews.
I don't have any nephews either. What am I talking about?
I have one.
The only person here with a nephews is Redbeard, and hopefully he hasn't killed him yet.
No, he's doing pretty well. So
Off the 10th says, my dad hated this beer. He is still alive. He still hates it. There's almost like a correlation here.
I can see that. You know, oh no, I don't like Guinness.
Oh, I like Guinness.
I don't. My dad
Probably
loves
why he's
Guinness.
still around. Probably. Only Lee makes this beer good. Sure. Only except for the dirt. Okay, I'm not.
My kitchen's not dirty.
It's
he
organized.
corrected himself. He said unorganized.
There's
The
order and
dishes are in
disorder.
the thing. I haven't put them
She's
away
half
yet.
English, half Italian. It's not going to happen. Well, I don't
This
see.
is why you
like,
need a husband.
spaghetti sauce being cooked in the stove. Anyway, Black Death people.
Oh, there's my wife. Hi, wife.
Craig is seems like she needs a man to clean her. No. All right. So those are all clean dishes. Carrie likes this after it takes
Honey,
after
do
his
you wanna
old
see
man,
these
although his
dirty
old man
dishes?
is probably far cooler. Great. Now the dead grandpa talk. Like, shut up. All right. As much as I love her, Sasha licking plates is not cleaning dishes. Anyone got any dead babies? Wrong. Just flush them. Jesus Christ. All right, Lee. Is sperm considered okay? Poor baby Quizzy. Yeah. Lou Dog does the dishes. Sperm is babies. He's connected. It's more like Grego's side. Lee. That's sensationals in the chat saying Lee. And the answer is yes, you did make it in time for comments.
Actually,
There's a lot of them.
Greg, it is sad because Lou Dog's dad had a head injury, so now he has like amnesia and remembers nothing from his past. So he rarely remembers having a son.
Oh, so he doesn't remember that his son is the great Lou Dog?
He knows that now because that's after the accident.
Oh, okay, so he forms new memories.
Yeah, but he doesn't know how any old ones.
My grandpa, he was at the point where he wasn't remembering people, and that's like fucking
Really sad.
yeah, it was not cool.
On a brighter note, how's Bruce Willis doing?
That's what my uncle
He's
is
got
right now.
some money to retire with, apparently.
Hey, why is my blanket being taken away from me?
My uncle's not doing well, so he's kind of at the point where he wouldn't recognize me anymore. So it just kind of sucks. It's my uncle, it's my mom's brother.
My grandpa within
Anyway,
like a couple sentences. Oh, you're recognized. Sorry,
Man, this really is like a black episode.
It is
My other
funeral label.
my other grandfather when he could recognize everybody. He just couldn't do anything, or say anything. He had Parkinson's, so we would just
yeah,
God damn
that's
it.
man, this really is the black label of all VA 101s because we're talking about the morbidity of death and wow, this is
it's you know what? Who knew? It's a theme episode. Who knew?
Just to add on to it, they think my dad has Parkinson's. So thanks, guys.
Oh,
But at the same,
You
your
know what?
dad's
If
how
you
old
get
is
it
your
early
dad?
enough, if you get it early enough, you can medicate for it. And you
Yeah,
can live
but
a
how
long
old is your
time.
dad, Lee?
My dad is going to be 72 this year.
So
Yeah.
I was just gonna say if it's like just onsetting now, it's still bad, but I feel like they can kind of hopefully mitigate it and stuff. I'm just thinking like, Michael J. Fox and like people get it when they're young, you know how bad it can. I don't know. I hope they can make that okay for you.
I am wearing black.
All right.
I'm totally wearing black.
basically, we're hoping that your dad can star in the Back to the Future remake.
Yeah, he's totally gonna do it. My dad, he's already planning on doing marathons, so I'm not too worried about him.
Yeah. Well,
The
yeah.
guy's
No,
big
I mean,
fucking
do you think
machine.
cancer's gonna take him down? He's fucking Bob Hardy.
I know.
Like
He's-
he's literally Superman.
I can't remember if he has like kidney or liver cancer. Either way,
Oh.
it's not active. It's whatchamacallit, it's benign.
He's got to focus on
Oh,
it.
that's
The
good.
cancel. Be like,
See-
oh
see?
shit, I'm sorry.
The reason is the reason it's benign is because he's one tough motherfucker.
He's one tough motherfucker.
All right.
I
So,
would
he
just
doesn't
let's
get
go.
trapped. He doesn't
Greg,
get
I'm
trapped
putting
in
you
a
up
room
first.
with COVID. COVID gets trapped in a
Let's-
room with him.
okay,
Yeah.
Greg, let's talk about something other than your dead dad. Let's go to
Jesus,
your
Nick.
final thoughts about this beer. What do you think?
All right, hold on. I got to do this one properly, Nick.
I'd like to point out that I saw Greg was in the midst of talking about Lee's dad and praising him.
We're all
I'm
playing present.
I know. I was
You
trying to
got
say
any
nice
other
things
beer?
about Lee's dad, and Nick cut me off because Nick.
Yeah,
doesn't-
because I
And
wanted to
said,
get back
let's
to the
not
actual
talk about
topic
your
of-
dad.
Shut up, Redbeard. I want to get back to the actual topic of this show.
Oh my goodness, Nick!
The
you're
black
such a-
label.
You're such an angry mister.
Yeah.
So I had this one. This was probably a little too warm. It was out for a few minutes, and it's in a fancy glass. So I feel to drink a proper black label. I threw this one in the freezer for a few minutes, and we're gonna drink it out of a proper glassware for this. It is a Hershey's Chocolate World giant mug.
I miss Hershey's, the Hershey factory.
Would you generally drink like molten chocolate out of that mug, or?
I have no idea. This glass is probably older than I am.
Holy crap.
There we go. So we're pouring that in there. Look at that. Look at that. You could dump two tall boys in there. Isn't that wonderful? So
that looks like it was made for two tall boys. Are you going to chug that right now?
probably was. No,
Do it.
I'm not a
Wow.
I'm not a
You're
beer
gonna do the
chugger.
black label gauntlet.
That looks like you were gonna chug it though. That I feel the same thing, Gary. Like that looked like a.
I can't chug beer.
Turns
So
out
I
I
don't, love,
can.
I don't love this beer. It's main thing about it, it's a fairly smooth beer. I've certainly had much worse when it comes to macro lagers. It does have a bit of a definitely very gassy. It does have a bit of a corny macro taste. I'm assuming there's corn syrup in this. I haven't actually seen
Your
the
corn
label.
syrup.
I am corn syrup. That is 100% true. I do take things and I artificially sweeten them.
Just come on them a little bit.
Just come on them a little bit. And that can be the quote of tonight's episode. But otherwise, the smooth beer, it kind of has a bit of a cardboard taste, a little bit corny. I get it. This is gonna be funny because it's coming from this glass, but I swear I found it before. I do get a very slight chocolate taste to this.
Weirdo.
I don't know what that is, but
You're thinking
Yeah,
chocolate is
I'm not loving it. I don't hate it either. I do get a hint of booze as well. That could also be. I think I sort of get a chocolate taste with booze, but that's just my weird palate. I'm gonna go. Trying to think for style. I'm not gonna go as high as I went last time. I think 7's a little too good for this beer. But I also don't think it's a terrible beer. I certainly for a macro lager, it's. I'm gonna go 6s all around. It's it's sort of on the low end of good. It's not like if I had to have this compared to like a Molson Canadian or a lot of other macro beers, I'd probably pick this, but it's certainly nothing to rave about. But it's fine. You have it by a pool, have it cold. I would say have it even colder than this so you can't taste it as much. There you go, 6 and 6.
All right. Thank you, Greg.
You're
All right,
welcome.
so let's go over to the beard. What you think, Beard? You're gonna be the one that gives it 7s all around this time?
Yeah, apparently I'm the terrible person because I actually think it's not bad. Like I don't love it. It's not amazing, but as far as a macro lager goes, it's got this nice kind of sweet malty thing going on. It's just really drinkable. It's like Greg said, smooth. not getting the chocolate thing. Definitely a bit of corn, but it's a macro lager. I'm not surprised by that. It's okay. I'm gonna give it 7s across the board. I kind
It's
of like it.
Greg. It's
Like,
Greg.
if this is, again, I want to go to the beer stores and see. This is the first can of this I've ever had full on. I kind of would like to throw one in the freezer and see if maybe it's better. And this one here is actually been
I could
drinking
just
it
ask
for
Cody to
about
grab you some.
So you
almost half an
drinking it
hour
warm or
now.
something?
and it's definitely warmed up and it's still decent. It's drink number the last. Like,
All
I
right.
can ask Cody to grab you some next time.
I'm not that far. Like, I'm just curious to see if it is here, and then maybe I'd grab another one, kind of thing. I don't know, but
Check the beer store. I'm pretty sure
Sorry.
that's where it's supposed.
yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Where it's supposed to be anyway,
Yeah.
according to the bill.
I got
All
some
right.
teas to bring back anyway, so there we go.
There you go. All right, thank you, Mr. Beard. All right, let's move on to Lady Lee. Last but not least,
I think you guys know my history with macro loggers. Like, I think this is one of those things that you already know my opinion on it.
getting them spilled on you at the bar. You mean?
No, I mean every time I get a macro lager, I never give it a high rating because I don't like them.
Oh,
I just don't like them. Greg made a good point with saying the colder the better, because the first few sips that you take, like, you can barely taste it. Like, it's very flavorless, but it goes down really smooth. The flavors that do come out when they start getting a little bit warmer, I'm not a fan of. I do have to say, I find with a lot of these beers, they have like a really like a bad aftertaste that I really don't enjoy. With this one, I don't have that, so this does make it more enjoyable than the average macro lager that I've had. So I am gonna rate it higher than the other ones. But style-wise, I don't know why everyone's so harsh on it style-wise. I think style-wise, it does what it does. Like, it tastes like a macro lager. It tastes worse as it goes, like every other macro lager goes. Like, I think the style is pretty accurate. So,
You know what? I'm 8.7. You know what? I feel like this. I feel like
are
the
you
style.
changing your rating? You're changing your rating, Redbeard.
The style. I'm bumping the style up one because
No, mine's going to a 10. Lady Lee guilted me. 10.
All right,
I honestly do feel like I did kind of knock it down a little bit for the style. I feel like the style is kind of on point. So.
yeah, the style is. It tastes like a macro lager. Like it's
Lady
got
Lee,
that
hashtag influencer.
it's got that beery taste that you like expect to taste when you get anything like this. It's like childhood in a can for so many people. Like, that's the reality of it. Like, when I tasted I think it was Canadian. I think it was grade 8 when I first tasted Canadian. I get the similar thing, but this one's better. But it's just this. Yeah. That's it. I think that's all. I'm just going to repeat everything I just said. So, style-wise, I think I'm going to go with a 7.5. Preference, though, I'm going to go down to, like, I'm going to do a 5. I don't think I'd love it or hate it. If it's cold, I could definitely drink this pretty quick. But as it gets warmer, it doesn't taste as good.
All right. All right. Cool. Thank you, Miss Lady Lee. All right, so let's give me through this thought when I'm trying to think of what I want to give it a rating. And the truth is, I'm not really going to deviate entirely too much from my previous analysis. When I drink this, I get this nice. The first sips of it are good. Like it gets this nice copper coin, earthy, bready kind of taste. A bit corny, yeasty, grassy sweetness. It's actually not a bad beer to drink cold. It's when it warms up that it's not so good. Like, I got that last little bit in the glass. And Greg even pointed it out when he got that last little bit in his glass, and it was like, ooh, time to get a cold one. And like, this is kind of the beer where I'm like, and I actually said this in my original review, is like that once it warms up, it's I had the thought right there, and then it just disappeared. But it's the kind of the concept. Like, as soon as it warms up, just dump it and get a new one. That was it. That was what I was going to say. Should have written it down. But anyway, yeah, the whole thought is like, this is a beer that's served cold. Don't drink it warm. If it sits out of the fridge for half an hour, dump it down the sink. If you left the can out for too long thinking you're going to drink a beer, don't bother. Put it back in the fridge. Make sure this thing is ice cold when you drink it. Otherwise, it starts to turn into this Swedish corn soda and boiled vegetables. It really loses a lot of its body and just comes off as yeasty and soggy bread more than it's really worth. I will give it credit that it's not like super cardboardy or anything. Well, yeah, it is, but especially as it warms up. Oh man! But the biggest thing I noticed about this is when I bought this new 8-pack, and I bought a bunch of other like macro lagers at the reserve when I was there. I can't remember exactly what I bought. I know that like Molson Old Style Pilsner 6.1 was one of them, and actually I saved a bunch of those to drink when Guy and Redbeard were here. The truth of it is that everything else seems to be better. Like when you drink this alongside of another macro beer, it's not bad cold, but as it warms up, you're like, oh man, get through this quick before so I can get to another one. Like that chilling taste in the back. Like it's great cold, but it's not warm. No, ew. So that said, for style and overall, I'm giving it 5s for both. There's way better out there, but it's beer at the same time, so why not? I would drink it again.
It's beer, so why not?
Yeah, and I guess like saying that yes, I have had it since the last time I bought it, since the last BA 101, but my opinion really hasn't changed much. It's just base level acceptable. I do like the cool can though. It's got that 1980s styling. It looks like the kind of styling you'd see on like cigarette machines in the 80s. You know,
They have never updated the styling or the labeling for this beer.
Yeah.
As far as I know, it's the same as it always. My dad always drank it in bottles, and I'm pretty sure the label on the bottle was like the exact same thing. So
Well, there you go. More you know.
Yeah.
it's like, well, I just think like those, like whenever you see like one of those cigarette machines where you see, I never used one myself. I don't smoke, but I remember going to.
I was
At
born
a
in '88, so I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when they were pulled
Well,
out of the
but
bars and stuff, but I do recall
It
seeing
was
them.
like it was like late 80s, I think, when they got rid of the late 80s, early 90s when they got rid of those, because when I was like 8 years old, and even before that, my parents were in a bowling league, and then they got me involved in bowling. And I remember being in a bowling alley where they would smoke like chimneys with even with the kids around. And then they had this cool thing over by the vending machines and the arcade games and shit that you play between your turns. They had this weird thing where you put the coins in and then shove it in, and out comes a package of cigarettes.
Yeah.
And then they'd have like labels like this for whatever flavor, like Players Light or whatever you want to fucking cigarettes. And they had these just that kind of 80s, 70s kind of styling in the label, right? So
Even just the fact that they're still using
smell those
cursive.
fucking cigarettes in that bowling alley.
Most people these days don't even have a concept of what cursive writing is, like kind of shit. That's
Well,
funny.
I will say
put
one
it
thing.
into a
At least it wasn't a
computer.
drain pour.
Well, there you go.
All right, so I
I'm
will
gonna
do
take
the
my
math,
last
and
sip.
does anybody want? Oh,
There.
let's put Lady Lee up front so she can chug
Oh,
There's
jeez.
much
No
to
one
chug.
wants to
Come
see
on.
me choke.
down the hatch.
Just gonna not.
Come on, Greg.
Not.
You chug. She's not gonna.
I can't chug.
Damn it! If I
you
had
can.
anything left, I'm not good at chugging, but I'm good at trying to chug.
And when it's cold, I can do it. It's not
Well,
cold
here.
anymore.
For me,
Lately,
being too cold
and
is what
Redbeard.
gets me.
Lady Lee and Redbeard can finish their beers while you read the rest of the comments.
I've done my beer, so that's what.
I'm
Okay,
not done my
fine.
beer.
Fine, do your damn freaking
Oh, I finished it. We're good.
affiliation shits
It's
there.
done.
So I feel like we're kind of left off at where Lee had said most traumatic episode ever. Chris asked who the hell we are. That's sensational. This is the black episode. Lee's wearing black. And then all of us should write our epitaph for the shitty beer, according to Lee. That's sensational. We're all downers. Lee, yeah, all of that. And he said the same thing twice. He actually removed it on the YouTube comments, but that doesn't affect the StreamYard shit. I can see your error.
Wow, Lee's been exposed for his lies.
And then literally at the end of the rope with all the gallows humor. And then said nice. And I said noose, nice. Ha ha ha. And I never leave us hang, except when you
Very
do, we all
nice.
die of broken necks. And, you know, I'd hang you slowly. So you die of suffocation. I wouldn't give you that satisfaction, quick death.
Wow. Would it be like
Corn.
erotic?
I like
For the first time, I want to say don't recall this happening before, but Jamie actually came in and said hello to me.
Oh,
And
hi,
apparently
Jamie.
I am K-Ray, because why not?
K-Ray.
Very-
And Lee thinks I need a flat of this. Do not get Cody to buy me a flat of these beers, please.
Very nice.
And Jamie asks, what's next week's beer? And then Chris, I feel like, was typing and didn't notice because at the same time, timestamp wise, he used his Ouija board. And the spirits have asked, what's next week's beer? That's the cheesiest comment I've ever read, Chris.
Wow.
My God. And then that's sensational Molson X or how about Carling? Funny
I
stuff.
like the corn comment. That made
Nice.
me laugh.
The
All
R,
right,
the R's not backwards though, so it's a fail. Just saying.
First
What
things
was the corn
first,
here?
the magic question has been asked, so I will show the scores first of all. Right now, we got this beer tonight got a 6.6 for style and a 5.8 for overall enjoyment, which honestly means that
look, I'm on my
the ratings of
balcony.
this went up. Yeah, you are. We had Craig here.
Yeah, we had Craig. I'm on my balcony.
Manly.
We got Manly. We got
Yeah.
Clubfoot Sexton over there. Then look at
We got-
handsome Nick and his nice.
We got Manly with his old school shitty laptop angle that he used to. Remember when he had
Wow.
his laptop before we helped him?
Wow, wait,
Before we loved him,
Or we helped him and gave him a new computer.
We love you, Lee. You crazy.
All right,
Evil
so
bastard.
yeah, 6.6 and 5.8 overall. Yeah, that's up from 5.8 and 5.4. But I don't necessarily think the beer's gotten any better. But maybe that's just me.
We also had,
Got
Pretty
right.
sure it's the exact same
4.5.
thing. So
it's close enough. Like that's pretty
Yeah.
accurate to. It's around the same. Because like if you think about it, we had people who hated it, we people that loved it. So
well, that's it. When we did last time, we had a lot of people that hated it. But I guess when it comes to nostalgia, is an important thing too. All right, so next week's beer, we kind of agreed on this before the show. I will show it to you here. We're going to go back to Collective Arts, of course, but this time we're going to do Radio the Mothership, a double dry hopped double IPA.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yay!
I had a comment there. I wasn't trying to make you feel badly. I was just I was just laughing about how it's funny that was your old angle and now you're like more straight on and it's I don't know, just that's all I was pointing out.
You
And
know,
then,
honestly,
then
there
Yeah.
you go. There's my comment.
yeah. There's the shame right there. There's your shame.
Jesus Christ.
God damn it.
Jesus.
Greg,
Oh,
Greg
Alrighty.
win.
good time.
Okay, I think that's enough. So I want to thank Jamie, who says hi, Kire. I want to thank That's Sensational for coming in. Definitely Lee Russell for being at least like not making fun of me too much. Dan, love you, Dan. Hope things get better soon. And of course, Chris off the 10th, who is currently off the 10th and not drinking a Traveling Black Label with us. Who else was there? Oh, well, if I missed somebody, I apologize. Thank you, Redbeard, Lee, and Greg for coming on tonight. We're going to sign off for now. So tune in next week when we radio the mothership to come pick Redbeard up and take him back home.
I was going to make a radar joke, but okay then.
All right?
Oh, and radar just showed up apparently, and that's
Yep.
a
What would
weird
the radar
thing
say?
to say.
Fart and it stinks.